Guys, I'm Danica with Couponing at its finest, and this is going to be my first nail tutorial video for you guys. And this is just a view of the finished set. So let's get started. Now right here, I'm just showing you guys my natural nails. It's been a couple of weeks since I took my last set off, and then the other one I showed you guys on Facebook and YouTube was just for my birthday, and those were press-ons. So they're a little jagged and a little rough. Now I did already do my nail prep, so I'll show that to you guys in another video. So right here, I'm just prepping and getting everything ready and showing you guys what I use. So this is my Melody Susie e-file, and I got that from Amazon, and I'll be sure to put links in the description box below the video if you guys are interested. That was just the box that it came in and what it looks like. Now these are my nail files. I'm using 180 grit. These are the ones that you should be using. This one's a little bit used, but these are washable, so I'll put a link for that one as well in the description box. And then this is just my nail buffer, and this is just another buffer I took out just in case I needed it. Then these are the tips I'm going to be using. These are jelly tips, and I'll put a link in the description box for that one as well. I've been using these for months. This is my kabuki brush for brushing off the dip powder. And then this is a nail clipper by Carlash I got from Amazon as well, just to take down the length of the nail. And then I also use nail clippers just to help to shape them better. I'm not an expert yet, but we're working on it. These are my jewelry pickers and my dotting tool that I'll be using today. Both of those also came from Amazon. And this is just a regular container I'm going to use to brush off the dip powder. And these right here are very important. These are my bits for my e-file. This is a medium carbide bit that I ordered from Amazon, and I'm not an expert yet. I'm getting used to the lingo for everything, but this is just what I'm able to show you guys that I know so far. This is my sanding band. Now this did come with the Melody Susie e-file. So these are diamond dust bits for cuticle cleaning prior to application. So make sure you guys use those, and I'll show that in another video. Now I'm going to be using one Dior clear dip powder. I'm not versed in regular monomer acrylic yet, so I'm going to be just showing dip powder today. And then this is IBN brand dip. This is what you need to adhere the dip powder to your nails. This is my brush saver and my activator that came from my lavender violets dip kit that I initially bought, and I'll put a link for that too. And this is just my lip-free pads that I'm going to be using to clean my nails, and 91% alcohol in its own spray bottle, which is very convenient. And then I'm also going to be using the Kiss 5-second nail glue, and then the Mia Secret Extra Bond. That is very important when you guys are doing nails. And then this is Carlash brand nail dehydrator. I'm going to be using that as well. So now that we have all of our things out in the open and lined up, I'm going to be going on and starting my application. So of course the first thing you're going to do is start sizing up your tips. Now this box is 0 to 9, so you always have to make sure that you're getting the correct size tip for your nails, meaning going from sidewall to sidewall of coverage. You don't want it too small and you don't want it too big. Now one tip I did pick up from YouTube is that if it's too big, you can file down the size and make it more custom to your own nail bed, and I've had to do that a couple times, but so far I've been doing really well with these tips right here. Now right here I'm about to just lightly file down the surface of my nail bed. Now what that does is just ensure that it adheres properly, meaning your bond once you put it on, so you don't have any lifting. I'm also straightening out the edges because, like I said, they were a little bit jagged. So I'm just rounding those off just a little bit, but for the most part I'm just filing down the surface of the nail bed for adhesion, proper adhesion. So that is really essential. That also prevents a lot of your lifting issues if you have that, if you've been doing nails and you're not sure why your nails are lifting. If you file down and rough up the surface just a little bit, that does help it adhere a whole lot better to your nail bed. Now once you're done roughing up the surface, you're going to start getting ready to go ahead and apply your tips. So right here I'm just putting the glue on. Now one part I did forget to do was to etch the inside of my nail tip so that it's also roughed up a little bit so that the glue can go down in those grooves and adhere a lot better. So if you guys can remember to do that part, etch, you can use a nail file or your e-file, just etch the inside of your tip. Now obviously this is sped up just so that this video is not so long, and so you guys can just get the gist of what I'm doing if you would like to replicate this process at home. So also I'm holding my fingers straight up so that I can go from the bottom of the cuticle to the top tip part of the nail enhancement to make sure that it is straight. So that kind of sort of helps me by just holding my hand just straight up. And then I'm not going to talk through this whole entire video so that you guys can also see and pay attention to what I'm doing if you would like to try this for yourself. Now right here, I'm just going right below where the little numbers are on my nail tips and just snipping them off to the size that I would like. Now I'm doing an almond shape, so I also, just to be advised, don't cut it all the way down to the exact shape that you want, or length rather. Make sure that you guys have a little bit left, because once you start filing, you're going to reduce the size of the nail anyway, so you don't want it uneven. So make sure that you don't clip them down too far. Now right here I'm just cutting the sides. Since I'm going for an almond shape, I cut them kind of stiletto like, because I'm going to round that tip. This is pretty much, to me, the only difference between almond shape and stiletto shape is that one has a rounded tip and one is just severely pointed. Now right here, I'm going to be just filing down my sides and shaping my nails into the shape that I actually want them to end up, which once again is going to be almond. I'm not going to show you all of the shaping because it's pretty redundant. Just make sure that you have them shaped where you actually want them to be prior to using the dip powder application. Now I also didn't explain to you guys the black dots that are on my natural nails. Previously, a couple of months ago, I did black dip powder. You guys might have saw that, the tuxedo look. And I made a mistake as a newbie, and I did not put down like a clear base on my natural nail to protect staining. So now they're stained and I can't file it off. I can't soak it off. So be sure, if you guys are using highly pigmented colors, to put down something on your natural nails as a base to protect them from discoloration. Now right here, I'm finished filing and I'm just trying to match them to make sure that they are even. If not, we're going to file just a little bit more. And then we're going to go ahead and start our dehydration process. And this is a non-acid, so it does not burn or anything. So you try not to put it on your skin, but get it on the natural nail to dehydrate it. Now once you're done with that, you're going to go in with your bond. Once again, this is non-acid, so no burn, but get it all on that natural nail. Now this is what's going to keep your nails from lifting. Now I can keep my sets for about 3 to 4 weeks for dip powder with zero lifting. I might lose a jewel or two, but I don't have any lifting, and I can do numerous polish changes when I feel like it. Okay, so now I'm done bonding and I'm getting ready to start dipping. Now I only bonded one hand because it is sticky and everything will stick to your other hand that you're not ready. So I'm gonna take my 1 Dior clear dip powder. Sorry about that, I dropped the lid. And then I'm also gonna have my container handy and then my actual dip liquid. Now also be sure you have your kabuki brush handy so that you can brush the dip powder off. Now what I'm doing right here is just taking one strip down from where your tip meets your natural nail, and then you're going to dip it in at a 45-degree angle. Wait about maybe 8 seconds and then go ahead and brush it off. And you're going to take your next one and go down just further and further. And then also we are looking to build an apex. So where the tip meets the natural nail, I'm also going across from left to right. Make sure that you do not have any dip liquid on your skin. And then we're gonna dip that in once again at a 45-degree angle. Wait about 8 seconds and then go ahead and brush that off. Now altogether, I think I did around maybe 6 or 7 dips per finger because what I'm trying to do is build up my nail. Now also, if it does kind of get a little gunked up, what I did right there was switch brushes. I took my dip brush and I put it in the bottle for the dip saver, for the brush saver, and then use the other brush for what I'm doing right now. So that does try to help degunk, if that's the correct verbiage for that, your brush. So you can see me wiping it off my skin just in case you get it in. Now sometimes you do have to turn your hand to different angles to get it down in there. Sometimes those bottles or jars can be a little bit shallow. So if you need to twist your hand around, go ahead and do so. That is perfectly fine. And then another thing with dip powder, it can get a little bit bulky, but try to get the actual structure together for your nails. And then if your file game is on point, you can go ahead and file down any extra bulk or excess that you don't need to have a nice looking, as natural as possible nail. So be sure that you guys are following this process throughout all 10 fingers on both hands. But because you didn't bond your other hand yet, be sure that you dehydrate and you bond prior to dipping your non-dominant hand. And it's okay if it takes a while. I'm still a little bit slow. I'm still a newbie myself. It's only been about maybe 6 or 7 months I've been doing nails since COVID. So I'm still learning a lot of things. I would like to get into regular acrylics eventually, but for right now, this is perfectly fine for my style and my comfort level. Another little tip for you guys is once you're dipping and going further back, once you're getting towards your cuticle area, that is the part that you want to be the thinnest because you always want your nails to look as natural as possible. So around that cuticle area, you want it to be nice and flush, but also don't use too much of the dip liquid because what you'll end up doing is flooding your cuticles. And that is the last thing that you want to do because that is super hard to repair in filing. Okay, now right here, I'm just showing you guys how I do my non-dominant hand. Like I said, I'm still super slow. So one tip that I can give you guys that does help me, that I learned from getting better with e-filing. If you use your pinky to brace where you want it, It makes it a whole lot easier to be a little bit more still and steady. But then also still take your time. Make sure you have enough time in your day to do this properly so that you can get a great outcome. So no errands, no ripping and running around, and you only have an hour to work. That's not gonna be too helpful for you. So just use your pinky to brace and take your time, and you should be just fine. And then right here, I forgot to show you guys that you do have to apply the activator once you are done with your whole dipping process. The activator is like a hardener to stiffen it up and just make it where you're able to file. Do not forget to put on the activator prior to filing, because it will be too soft and you're not going to be able to file, and it's just going to gunk up on you. So do not forget to put on a generous amount of that activator. Okay, so now we're done with our initial reshaping right here. So I'm just showing you guys that I regained some of that almond back. So now we're going to get ready to e-file. Now this portion right here, I did slow it down just a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Now once again, this is the Melody Susie that I'm using, and I got it from Amazon, and that link will be in the description box below. Now as you can see, like I just showed you guys, for your non-dominant hand using your pinky, that is your best bracing, because it will slip off your nail, and the last thing you want to do is cut yourself. I've done it a lot. So also this bit is called a safety bit. As you can see, it's rounded at the top, so now I'm able to get right up on that cuticle without pulling off my skin. It doesn't do anything to my skin, but it does file it down so my cuticle line can be nice and flush and look as natural as possible. So I'm also just filing my sides a little bit, and then up and down that middle part to get it around about the look of maybe in a regular acrylic with monomer look, kind of sort of. If you guys didn't know, that dip powder is technically acrylic. This about the same acrylic that you would use with monomer. The only difference is it's very finely milled, and then the liquid that you use in the other bottle is like kind of sort of, you could call it a monomer, but it's more like a glue that makes the finely milled acrylic stick to your nails the same as if you were using monomer and an acrylic brush. So it's supposed to be a little bit quicker and easier. Like I said, I'm still new, so I'm still slow. But I think I've shaved off maybe 2 hours off my process, but I'll get better. But for this filing process, just take your time, especially if you're new to e-filing, and make sure that you have it turned up high enough, because if you have it on too low of a speed, it's gonna catch on that nail, and that part you don't want it to do. So once you do get it filed down to your liking with the e-file, you can take your hand file and just go across all of those nails. Now I keep getting out of frame on accident, mainly because whenever you're filing, that's very hard to capture on camera because of all the different angles that you have to turn your hand to try to get a good file and to get a good shape. So I apologize if I'm out of focus or out of frame for a little bit of this, but I'm hoping that you are able to get the gist of what you need to do. Now, if you guys just are afraid of e-filing, which some people are, you can do all of this with a hand file. Just make sure you have that 100/180 grit, and you can just hand file it and make sure you get around those cuticles to get them down as flush as you can with that hand file, but also still be careful around the cuticle area because that is super sensitive. And my hand file did catch me during this process right here on my pinky finger on accident, and it will take off your skin and it does not feel good. So be very careful with that hand file, especially if it's a brand new hand file. Now this part I just wanted to show you guys really quickly because this is getting a little lengthy. We're at 20 minutes, so I don't want it super long. But I just wanted to show you real quick me doing my non-dominant hand. This is very challenging to capture on camera, but I just wanted to show you really quickly how I'm still bracing with my pinky finger, and I'm just going across the nail really slowly. And then that's also the beauty of the safety bits, because once you get up towards that cuticle area, our non-dominant hands are like kind of hard at first until we get really good, but those safety bits allow us to get up on that cuticle where we need to be. And then once we're done with our nails, others really don't know our struggle. So be sure that you guys take advantage of these safety bits. Now I'm finally done with all my shaping and filing with that e-file and with the hand file. So now I'm going to go ahead in with my buffer, and I'm going to go across all of my nails on both hands. Now what this does is all of the filing we did put etch marks into our nails, so the buffer smooths all of that out so that when you're in your polishing part, you don't have all these little bumps and dents and bubbles and everything. So be sure that you buff your nails really well after you're done with your filing process. Okay guys, now we're ready for the fun part. We're gonna start our design process. So here is my gel lamp, also from Amazon. It was a kit, and the name brand is Beetles, if you didn't catch that. And it does go 30, 60, and 120 seconds for your curing time. I am going to be using gel polishes. So yes, be sure that you have your lint-free nail wipes and your alcohol handy, and all of your design tools like I showed just a second ago, like your jewel picker and everything. So you're going to spray your nails and wipe them down with that lint-free little cloth to get all the dust and particles and everything off your nails and to cleanse your nails. Now a lot of nail shops at this point will have you go wash your hands, but I found out that that's not a good process because a lot of the soaps have oils in them and you just dehydrated your nails, so you do not want all those oils and everything on your hands. So either acetone or the regular alcohol will suffice and do just fine. So here are our clean and cleansed nails right here. So now we're gonna get ready and base coat them. Now I'm using, once again, Beetles. This was the name brand that I first ordered when I started doing nails back in February, and they've been working out really well for me. For all the ones that you guys have seen me post on YouTube and on Facebook, Beetles is the main brand. The other brand I have is called Model Ones. I'm not sure if I showed it here, but I'm okay with them. I think Beetles is a little bit better. That's just my personal opinion. So all I'm doing right here is just base coating all of my nails, and then I'm going to put them in the dryer for, I think I did either a 30 or a 60-second cure. You only need one coat of base. You don't need multiples of this because we're going to paint these really pretty with a great fall design. This is my first freestyle, if you guys didn't know. I've taken all of the tips and tricks I've learned from other YouTubers like Long Hair Pretty Nails, Tabitha Scott, V Nailed It is another great channel, Nail Nails. I think that's the main ones I watch, and Nail Nails is the best so far to me, but I started with Long Hair Pretty Nails. So if you guys want to check out those channels, I'll try to remember to put the links to the channels in the description box below this video as well. Hopefully I can remember to put them down there. My mind is getting bad. So go ahead and stick it in. Oh, I see. I did a 60-second cure for this. So 60 seconds is just perfectly fine because you wanted to make sure that the light goes and penetrates down all the way through the entire nail. Okay, now yes, my bowl is very ugly and dirty, but it's only for nails. But anyway, this is my acetone, and you're going to take just a regular brush because this is for cleaning around the cuticle area if you make any mistakes. And just pour a little bit into just a regular bowl. It doesn't matter what kind of bowl. This is an old bowl I had already, and instead of trashing it, I decided to use it for that purpose. And also, just a note, guys, because a lot of you guys follow me for couponing, that brush is one of the Wet n Wild brushes that we did that we got for free or overage from Walgreens. So that was one of the purposes I used mine for. So be sure that you do both your hands for your base coat. And then what you're going to do is take another lint-free wipe, and you're going to wipe across, because it has what's called the inhibition layer. I'm probably not pronouncing that right, but a tacky layer, sticky. So if you're doing one hand at a time, if you go ahead and don't take that tacky layer off, everything in the world is going to stick to your base coat on your other hand. So be sure that you are wiping those off with the lint-free wipes and the alcohol or acetone, so that you don't pick up all types of hair or other dust that may be in your area that you filed in. Now I'm just showing you guys what it looks like after you have base coated while my non-dominant hand is curing. So make sure that it does go for the full 60 seconds, just to make sure that it goes all the way straight through the full nail. And once again, don't forget to wipe it off that tacky layer. Okay, now we are ready to paint and design. So I am going in with a nice brown gel paint, and this is once again from Beetles. Now, for 3 of my nails on each hand, I'm going to be just coating them just with that brown, and then I'm just going to put a jewel on it later to keep it simple, because we are going to be doing some design nails, and I don't want it to be too confusing or, you know, busy looking. And then also, if you get it on your skin, just take that brush that I just showed you guys in that old bowl of acetone and go around where you have polish, because the issue is once you put your hand in there to cure, you're not going to be able to get that gel polish off. So make sure it's where to your liking or as perfect as possible prior to curing. Now right here, I'm just showing you guys the other polish that I'm using, which is Model 1s. And then I'm also going to be using Beetles, once again, number 280, and this is the orange. Now, I would prefer it to be a darker orange. This is more of a neon orange that I'm using. But this is what I have. Now, this is number 247. This is the glitter gel polish that I'm also going to be applying today. And what I'm looking to do is kind of sort of make a window effect on my nails, since we used the clear dip powder. Now this brush, sorry I'm not in frame, but it came from Dollar Tree, and it's a really thin, short, kind of like a striper brush, so that I'm able to get into little small tiny places a bit better. Now right here, I'm just going across the nail from sidewall to sidewall and up around the cuticle area with the red Model 1s gel polish. And then I'm just making a swoop down, because remember we did clear dip powder. So I'm creating like a little mini window on the side for the glitter polish to go. And then don't forget, you do have your cleanup brush in that old bowl of acetone to clean up any lines that you would like to make straighter, kind of like an eraser. So I'm going to do this 2 times, meaning 2 coats. I'm going to do the first one, clean it up to my liking, put it in my UV lights for I think I did a 30 or a 60-second cure, and then I'm going to do a second coat, and then also using that little striper brush from Dollar Tree to go around towards the bottom of the free edge of the nail to get that line as straight as possible. Okay, so now I'm about to go in with that glitter polish over that clear window area. Just I'm doing it 2 times. Once again, you can do it 2 times, or you can do it just once, depending on how much clarity you want between just doing 1 coat versus 2. I'm not sure exactly how to explain that, but besides just saying clarity. And then once again, I'm going in and cleaning up any mistakes I made before I cure, and going in with that striper brush as well to try to get up on that swoop. I did leave one little small part of clear for a little glitter to go, and you'll see it in the finished product. And then I did a 30-second cure. Now, once again, I did 2 coats. You can only do 1. It will be your personal preference. Okay, now right here, I am going in with that same Beetles, the orange one, and I'm going to basically do the same process. I'm going from left to right, across from sidewall to sidewall, and around the cuticle area. And just to note, guys, this is my first tutorial, and this is super hard to get on camera, but I'm trying my best to stay in frame as much as possible. But it's pretty much the same process as I used for doing the red index finger. And also, just be sure that you are cleaning up around that cuticle area prior to curing. I can't stress that enough, because I tried it and it does not work to get it off after. It is a serious pain. Okay, now right here, I'm just getting ready to put my gel glue. I did order this from Amazon as well. And once again, everything will be in the description box below the video. And I'm taking a gel brush. It usually comes with it. And I'm applying the gel only where I am putting my crystals. So you can put them on however you see fit. But right here, I just ended up putting one on my thumb and on my pinky finger, and then I ended up doing 3 design nails for my index, middle, and 4th finger. So pretty much all you have to do is just apply it, and I apologize for not being in frame. Once you apply it, go ahead and use your crystal katana to pick up the jewels. It makes it a whole lot easier using that tool, and just place them on where you want them to go. And the gel that I'm using is for UV LED light, so you do have to cure once you're done applying all of your jewels where you want them. Okay, now right here, I'm about to finish this up and go ahead and start top coating my nails. Now, one thing you do need to remember that I learned from Miss Tabitha Scott on her YouTube channel is when you guys are doing your top coat, whether they are just regular nail polishes or gel, you never go over your crystals. You bump up around on them, you touch them, but you never top coat over them, because it does take away the sparkle and shine of your jewels. So just always remember to bump them so that it gives them a little bit more security with that gel glue, but do not top coat over them. Okay guys, that's gonna wrap up this newbie nail tutorial. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.
Love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low. Make you sit right here. Now you can't go back home. You love it when I get so high and drop that thing so low.